if they have, a website, that equates to legitness. And so if you don't have that, I promise you, you are missing out on so much opportunity. You are leaving money on the table. Well, hey, friends, welcome back to the podcast. This is podcast episode number 517. When does your business actually really need a website? That's what we're going to talk about today. Because I do know that there are some people who are still just trying to kind of limp along without an actual website to get people to sign up for their coaching or for their group or even for their product. And so I want to talk about when you actually need one. Um, and really encourage you to get one. And then I've got an easy way to get one when we're done at the podcast here. Okay. So let's start at the very top. Let's talk about websites and specifically when do you need one? And I know that the reason a lot of business owners don't have one is that there is a learning curve, probably to creating one on themselves, right? And by learning curve, I also mean if you're technically challenged, or it probably sounds like a really, big feat and hard to do. And I get it. I get it. And the other thing is, so then you think, okay, so I'll outsource that. I'll have somebody build it for me. But then a lot of times you think, okay, but I don't know who, I don't know how to find them, and I don't want to pay for that. Okay, so this is usually the rub of why business owners, if they don't have a website, haven't actually ever gotten a website. Okay, that's where the hesitation usually is. A lot of business owners in the beginning, they can make sales off of their social media, and they just think, okay, that's good enough. If I can just, make it off social media, off my Facebook, off, TikTok or whatever. And then others will maybe have like a landing page, which is like a one page, not a full website where there's like tabs on the top and you can, click around and go to different places. But they're not sure when they're supposed to like make the leap from just that one page or just that landing page over to a full website. So I want to break that down for you today. And first I want to start, with like, what's the difference between a landing page and a website? I think that's important to know. Why you're having a website like actually makes your business more legit. And why I think just this, like a really simple 3-page website is a perfect starting point for like 90% of the people who are online, unless you have like a big product suite or something. And I know that like it can sound overwhelming, but again, I've got something for you at the end here. So dial in. Okay, so let's talk first about the difference between a landing page and a website. All right, this is super duper easy. So a landing page is something that has one goal. It's either a goal to get people onto your email list, or it's a goal to get people to like buy maybe just one thing, or it's a goal for people to get on your wait list for a book you have coming out or something. It's one page, like there's a URL, and that's the only thing people can do when they get on that page. So it's not like when they hit your landing page, they can also go to an about section or anything else. They land on the landing page, the single one pager. They land there, and there's literally usually only one thing to do there. Okay. You usually can't click around and go to other places. Normally, you're either needing to buy something there, sign up for something there, or give somebody your email and phone number there. That's what a landing page accomplishes. So think of like an email opt-in. Some of you are on my email list because you've went to a specific URL that I've given you, and I'll give you one at the end if you want it. And you've taken the one directive that I've given you, which is, hey, if you want this thing, just give me your email right here. Usually, the landing page, like it's for one offer, or it's like for a sign up for a webinar, or to grab somebody's freebie, or something along those lines. And so that is great in a lot of situations. A landing page, did I just say plage? Like as in plagiarism, plage, like as in plague. A landing page, words are hard, is great for if you want to run ads to something and you need somewhere to send traffic. Okay. It's great if you need to collect a bunch of email addresses before you launch something. I mean, landing pages, that's perfect for it. They are super simple. They're super effective, for a short amount of time anyway. They're not a huge investment financially. You can usually build them yourself, etc. So that's a landing page. Now let's talk about what the website is. So a website, I want you to think of a website as like a portfolio for your business, like the whole online home for your business. Your website is much more than just a place to gather leads. Your website is a place of like legitimacy. A website is a place of trust building with people that may or may not do business with you down the road. Instead of like saying, hello, look at me, like a landing page, I want you to think of a website, which is more like, hey, just so you know, I'm a real business and I'm here to stay and look around. So they have two totally different, um, what do I want to say? Two totally different intentions, two totally different jobs. The difference between a landing page and a website, like it's vast. Okay. So a website makes you look really professional. And if you are to the place in your business where you only have social media right now, like you have to take the next step because anymore, like I wouldn't do business with anybody that didn't have a legit website because what it signals to me is, okay, I've either built something that looks really legit or I've invested, the money for somebody else to build something that looks really legit. I'm legit. You can trust me and go ahead and put in your credit card. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how my brain works. If I was working with a company who didn't have a website, I'd be like, hmm. Let me give you a good example. Jason and I just finished remodeling our new Airbnb in Florida called Bougie on Miramar Beach. You can look it up on Instagram. It's lovely. And I actually showed on Instagram, like instead of pulling out all of the granite countertops that were just replaced in the last year by the previous owners, I decided to have our countertops at Bougie on Miramar Beach epoxied. Now, I've never had countertops epoxied before. So essentially the countertops were in amazing shape. And epoxy is like a fourth of the cost. And so I was searching in different Facebook groups for companies that could come out and give me an estimate on spraying epoxy on the kitchen countertops. They were like a dark gray, marbly looking, and I just wanted them to be white. I know that I decorate with like so much color and flair and texture. I have to have some things, that are just plain Jane so that everything else can stand out. So the websites were going to be one of those things. Or the websites, I'm sorry, the countertops were going to be one of those things. So I just want to plain white. So I go to like a Facebook group. I belong to several Facebook groups for Airbnb owners, things like that. And I'm asking them, in that area, are there people that that do epoxy and countertops? And I got several recommendations. And instead of just calling Bill at, 1-800, I'll do your countertops, like I would ask people, is there a website? Do you have a website for them? And I know that like in my mind, if somebody's like, no, it's just a friend of a friend, I'm like, nope. I mean, this is it's advertised as a luxury condominium in, a very nice area. And I don't want, your friends, brothers, sisters, neighbors, dogs, sister-in-law, who maybe did epoxy countertops once. Like I need a legit company. So in my brain, like even if they have, a website that equates to legitness. And so if you don't have that, I promise you, you are missing out on so much opportunity. You are leaving money on the table because it's not just me, like other people equate a website with legitness also. You have to have that. It's like your online business card that needs to be the very minimum anymore. I really believe that. I think if you want, eventually you can have a podcast. Eventually you could have a book. Eventually you can have, a bunch of other things, but you have to have a website for your business. You just literally have to. So, the thing about websites is they work for you 24/7, even when you're not working, which is great, right? They help people find out more about you and what you do without you having to be like, facing forward on social media, without you having to DM a million, questions back and forth with people. Like it's a place where people can go to get information about what you do. In this case, I was looking at some websites for people that epoxied in the 30A area and figuring out how do they charge for that roughly, what can I expect? How long does it take? What do they guarantee for how long it lasts? Like that's the sort of thing people are looking for on a website. And so the more you can give them that information, the less like you have to worry about phone calls or back and forth on texting or DMs on social media, etc. So again, it's working for you all the time. It's helping you get answers to potential clients. It's helping you to get clients. Okay. And again, one of the biggest differences between your website and that landing page is on the landing page, there's only one thing people can do. You land there and that's where you stay. Okay. On a website, there's multiple pages. Like if I go to jenniferallwood.com right now, should I just do it while we're here? I can tell you what all of my headings are. I know I have like an area, I have about me, learn from Jen, success stories, podcast, Jennifer Allwood home, and my book. Those are all like headings at the top of my website. And so I want you to be thinking like of a website as a place where people can get information in a multitude of different ways or on different topics once they hit your site too. So if you do have a podcast or you do have a book, or you do have several ways people can work with you, like I can't express enough how badly you need to have a website. Okay. Because this is where, it's like a choose your own adventure. People land on your website, they land on jenniferallwood.com, they can click around, they can see different things. They can go to a lot of different places and take several calls to action. And if you have a pop-up or you have a freebie, as a banner at the top or a footer at the bottom, they can get onto your email list too. Okay. So I always think that you should start with a landing page before you have a website. If you're someone that's brand new to your business, you're brand new online, if you're just testing the waters with, your business, your product, whatever, you're not sure you're actually even going to do this, then just create a landing page. You can go to YouTube, you can go to TikTok, I'm sure, and just, type in how to DIY a landing page for my course or my coaching or my whatever. That's a great place to start. Okay. You don't need a huge site right away. You just need somewhere to collect, some email addresses and direct traffic. So there's that. But it's not going to make your business feel legit either to you or to other people. Okay. So pretty quickly, you're going to see that you really do need a website because people are going to ask you for it. And this way people will take you seriously. And this way you're taking your business seriously. Okay. It's amazing how you feel when you have a legit website. And again, I think you can start out with just a 3-page site. It doesn't have to have all the different tabs that mine does. It doesn't have to cost you a ton of money. You can have 3 pages. I think that's where we need to start. Okay. So page number 1 would be your home page. This is like when you go to jenniferallwood.com, that's what you see there first. This is the first impression. This is where people decide if they want to keep looking. This is where they make a split-second decision on whether or not you look legit. You sound, like not you as a person, but your business, whether they think this is something worthy of their time to, scroll down any further and look at. But your first page, when people hit your website, it needs to be very clear. It needs to be very simple. It needs to be straight to the point. It needs to answer just a couple of questions: who you are, what you offer, and how you can help people. Nothing fancier than that. Anything fancier than that on the homepage and people get really confused. So who are you? What do you offer? And how can you help people? That's all you need on page number 1. On page number 2, I think you need to have like a work with me or a services or a tab that's called offers. This is basically like, what is it that you sell? What do you offer? This is where you lay everything out. I have a course, that is on this topic. I have a membership group for people who are gluten-free, and you can join here, and this is what the cost. I also do one-on-one consultations, and here's where you can go. Like that's on the offers page. And I don't want you to like complicate this. Keep this simple too. What is the offer? The thing that you're selling. What is it that it does? Like, why is it a benefit to people? And then how can they buy it? Click here. This is also a great place to have like testimonials under each offer. It gives you social proof. So this is, Kelly said that my gluten-free membership, I'm just, giving random ideas here, is the best membership she's ever joined online, worth every single cent. Like those are good things to have screenshots of and be posting underneath your offers. This will build credibility. But make it super easy for people to look at. Make sure it looks good on mobile, on cell phone, because I think the last stat I read was that 85% of people will look first on your website on their mobile device versus on a desktop. So make sure it looks good there. So your page 1 was your home page where they get to know who you are, kind of what you do. Second page is all the different ways people can work with you. And then page 3 is your contact or your about page. This is just keeping it super simple. Okay. So on your about page or contact page, you can call it either one. I do want you to give people a little bit of the backstory, but only as it relates to them. Okay. So we don't need to know that you started your DIY furniture painting company because your grandfather used to build furniture and his father used to build furniture. And, through Abraham, we're all related to Jesus, the ultimate carpenter. Like I get that that's all precious, but I need for you to remember, how does it relate to somebody else? What could they read about in that about section that would make me like, that would make them relate to you? Does that make sense? And then if somebody is interested to read more, you can have like a contact button. I think that it's great to have a contact form where people could just give you've all seen contact forms and interacted with contact forms, especially if you're trying to get a hold of like customer service for a product or something, right? So it's like, what is your email address? How can I help you? Is there some way you want me to get in touch with you, et cetera, et cetera. If people can't figure out how to get in touch with you on your website as they're looking at your website, then you're definitely losing sales. So this is a great place for you to have your social media links. Here's how to find me on Instagram. Here's my link to Facebook. Here's my link to YouTube. You know how you just see the little icons on people's websites? That goes on your contact or about page. But again, it can be super simple. Those are like the 3 tabs that I think every website should have. The one tab they land on when they go there, and the other 2 tabs you set up. And the reason that this works really well is because 3 pages are enough to like establish credibility without overwhelming you trying to get it set up. Okay. It also just covers the basics, the who you are, what you do, how you can help someone, and how they can reach you. Because that's all really people care about. Is this person credible? What are they trying to sell me? How's it going to make my life better? And oh, how can I reach out to them? That's all people really want to know. And this is perfect for business owners who they need some sort of a website, but you don't have the time to build something massive, or, the tech capabilities to build something that's very, very complicated, or the cash to pay somebody else to do it. Okay. So I will tell you this, I can remember back when I, had my magic brush painting company and I needed a website years and years ago. And years ago, it was so hard to build your own website. There's no way that I could have done that. And so I can remember pricing websites and it being $5,000, $10,000, and me going, oh my gosh, I can't afford that with my little painting company. And so I never built one. But then I was painting in somebody's house one time and painting him and his wife's kitchen cabinets. And I was like, so what do you do? And he was like, oh, I'm a website builder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a website. So we ended up bartering and he built a website for me. And I did his kitchen cabinets. But again, that was probably, 15 to 20 years ago when it was just so much more complicated than it is now. Now there are so many tools, there's so many softwares for you to build your own site so that you don't have to pay somebody else to do it. Because, depending, the cost of paying somebody to build a site for you is really dependent on how quickly you need it done and how much information you want on it and how good they are. And so you still can spend at least $5,000 paying somebody to do a website, or my team and I, we can teach you how to do it in a week. And so if you need a website and you want to stop procrastinating and finally get it done, we're going to do building a website in a week with people in the middle of March. And I'm so excited about this. You are going to walk away with a complete website, the 3 pages that we talked about, the 3 tabs, in 5 days. We're going to build this together. And so if you're interested in getting the information on that, I want you to go to jenniferallwood.com/website in a week. And you will literally have a website by the time you're done if you join us every day and go through the steps that we show you. And so bada boom, bada bing, you'll finally get the website that you've been needing for a hot minute done at the very beginning of 2025. Q1, you'll have it done. And so if that's something you're interested in, again, go to jenniferallwood.com/website in a week. And Nell and I and Team Allwood are going to be there all week. We're going to do it for 5 days. It's like an hour every day for 5 days and get you a completed website by the end of the week. So I hope that is exciting to somebody. If you're watching right now on YouTube, do me a hot solid. Tell me that my hair looks good like this. because my husband told me that, and comment below. I can't wait. If you're somebody that has a lot of friends who have businesses or are just starting a business, will you forward this podcast to them? Will you send them a link to this? Post about this on Instagram. But we would love to help as many people as possible get a website started, because for so many people, you can't make any more dollars until you get that thing done. And so it is the barrier, the roadblock between a lot of people and their business really taking off and making the money that it deserves to make. So go to jenniferallwood.com/website in a week, forward this to somebody who's starting a business at the beginning stages of growing and building a business. And I appreciate you so, so much. All right, friends, have a good one. Bye-bye. Easton, your dad says I look like Sharon Stone. Do I look like Sharon Stone? You probably are too young to remember who Sharon Stone was, but I'm pretty sure she was in this movie where she boiled a baby bunny and killed it.